Joining us now, we have Seth Hettena. He is a contributing editor at Rolling Stone, and also he is the journalist behind the Spy Talk Substack, which I highly recommend to all of you to subscribe to. Great to have you, Seth.
Thanks for having me. Good to see you.
Yeah, it's our pleasure. Let's go ahead and put this tear sheet up on the screen that was flagged for me. So you got a hold of some court filings that shed some light on a key meeting in the run-up to 9/11. Go ahead and put the element up on the screen there, guys. This is something that a lot of folks have focused on, which is you had two of the eventual hijackers in this supposedly, theoretically chance encounter with a man named Omar al-Bayoumi, who was a Saudi intelligence asset. Take us back to that meeting, why that meeting ends up being so significant, and what you were able to uncover through your reporting.
Well, it's one of those extraordinary meetings you read about in spy stories. Something that seems like an innocuous everyday event that turns out to be a huge momentous event in the 9/11 attacks. So this happened at a restaurant in Los Angeles, Middle Eastern restaurant. Omar al-Bayoumi was there, supposedly by chance, he says, drops a piece of paper and strikes up a conversation with these two men who also just happen to be there. But now we know a lot more. You know, it's taken 20 years to learn that Omar al-Bayoumi was a Saudi intelligence asset and that he was directed to go there by a network, an intelligence network that was a Saudi intelligence network is operating inside the United States. And the more astonishing fact is this is like an onion that you have to peel, is that many FBI agents believe that not only was this not a chance encounter, but it was being directed by the CIA, who was using the Saudis to try to recruit a member of Al-Qaeda, the two guys who had just arrived in the United States and were at that Middle Eastern restaurant.
Right. Yeah, this has been a focus of the, what was it, the 18 pages or whatever, the hidden pages. We've known about the al-Bayoumi meeting for a very long time, but can you go into a little bit about why the CIA would be pursuing this? I'm not sure, many of our viewers probably weren't even born on 9/11. So one of the important things for people to step back is there was a big rivalry between the CIA al-Qaeda unit and the FBI al-Qaeda unit with no intelligence sharing, which resulted in the fact that these two gents were even allowed to come to the United States along with the rest of the 9/11 hijackers, despite being known to intelligence authorities without ever flagging it to the FBI. This looks like it might have been an intentional cover-up. Am I right in that, Seth? And just lay out some of what I'm talking about for the audience.
Yeah, so that's what the FBI agents believe. They believe that the CIA did know that these two guys had arrived in the United States. We know that for a fact. What happened was there were FBI agents who were co-located inside the CIA, which means that they were there to report on something that might be of interest to the FBI. If the CIA cannot really conduct spy operations against United States citizens, but the FBI can. So the CIA will tip the FBI, hey, there's a guy of interest. And so they had two guys of interest, two guys from Al-Qaeda. The reason why this was of interest to the CIA is they were desperate to get a source inside Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda, the terrorist network, and like all terrorist networks, are a very closed circuit. They rely on very personal communications, bonds of trust, very hard to get a source in there. So these two guys arrive at this restaurant, and here's a golden opportunity for the CIA to land a source. The FBI also learns that these two guys, through the CIA, they learn these two guys are in the United States, and they type up a memo to say, hey, FBI headquarters, these guys are here, and they are not allowed to send that memo. They are told to stand down, that this is not of interest to the FBI, and that has really rankled to the FBI agents who are there, and it's something they can't let go of, and it's one of the pieces that led them to believe that this was, an intentional cover-up, that they were keeping the FBI out of the loop so that they could recruit these two Al-Qaeda hijackers.
Right.
You write in your article, the theory that the CIA had launched a failed effort to recruit the hijackers through the Saudis has been around for years and was always circumstantial at best. But the document obtained by Spy Talk reveals there is more evidence to support it. One former FBI agent claimed to the investigator that the CIA possesses top secret operational files in a, quote, paper trail about that Saudi spy, that's al-Bayoumi, who met the hijackers that are still being suppressed. A CIA spokesperson denied the agency was hiding information. The FBI declined to comment. Can you talk to us about the significance of that? And also, what's the context within which you were able to obtain these documents?
Okay, so these documents were filed in Guantanamo, where the 9/11 defendants are on trial. They've been held there for 20 years, and there have been interminable court proceedings going on. This was on the docket. It was posted, but it was posted completely redacted. It was 21 pages of basically black sheets. But I read some discussions about this document, and was able to obtain a copy. Yeah, the thing that really jumped out at me was the thing you just mentioned. One agent who says that the CIA has there's a paper trail. And, for years, the FBI and others had believed this theory that there was a CIA operation that failed to try to recruit these hijackers. But now it seems there's a paper trail that's just gotten lost or hidden or whatever. And that would show that the CIA had contact at some time with al-Bayoumi. We don't know what those papers say. But operational cables means that, that there was some kind of CIA operation that ran across al-Bayoumi somewhere. We don't know where, but it's evidence. It's hard evidence that Congress or someone can obtain that would shed light on what really happened on the events running up to 9/11.
Yeah, I mean, Seth, this is where I just come in and, and I'm just like, are we sure it hasn't just been destroyed at this point? I mean, so much was hidden from the 9/11 Commission. We have basically known the contours of all of this since 2002. It's been absolutely not only covered up, but many of the initial investigations by Congress, they frankly just failed. I mean, many of them had the broad contours of what was going on, and in the midst of Iraq insanity and all that, basically just let it go. And now finally, a journalist like you is just picking it up. Do you think we can ever get to the bottom of this, even now, years later? Will it make it easier or harder just because so much of the information is probably gone?
Yeah, the information is gone, but the memories are not. And I don't think something like this will stay secret forever. It's too big. There's too much blood on people's hands or guilt, or I don't think it'll stay secret forever. I think it may be a deathbed confession. Who knows if this did happen? But I believe that information eventually comes out. It just takes time.
Yeah, I hope so.
Well, Seth, great job reporting on this. I really recommend people go and read through the entire piece, which I think lays out the evidence in very compelling detail. Again, it's over at the Substack Spy Talk, which I also would recommend to folks. And we're really grateful for your time and for laying this out for our audience to understand.
That's right. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I really enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
It's our pleasure.
Link to Spy Talk down in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Thanks for all the yearly and the lifetime members who've been helping us out with the lights and the set and the fabrication and all the contracting costs, all the stuff that comes with being in the business. But that's what we've decided to do for all of you, because that is how we have made a commitment, I think, to our premium subscribers. Your hard-earned money is always is going to be used not only just to support the show, but poured into the business, help you guys and help others gain it. And I know how much it means to so much of you, and it means so much to us, I think, for all of your support. So thank you all very much for the new ones. BreakingPoints.com if you're able. Otherwise, we'll see you all tomorrow.
See y'all tomorrow. Hey guys, ready or not, 2024 is fully upon us now, and Saagar and I have been brainstorming ways that we can really up our game for this critical election.
Yeah, we rely on our premium subs to expand our coverage, to add staff, to upgrade the studio. We just want to give you the best independent coverage of this election, which is possible. So if you can help us out, become a premium subscriber today, BreakingPoints.com, or the link is down here in the description video. It really means the world to us, and if you like what we're all about, this is the best possible way to keep us 100% independent, working only for you.